Peter, it's Toddy. I'm okay. He's in jail. Yeah, he dragged. I sent you a message. He tried to take my phone, and the cops said, "Don't repeat this to Zeke." But the cop, we weren't getting along, so I took my backpack and picked it up and took it to the bedroom, and the cops called to ask me a few questions, like stuff they needed to know, and I was on the phone with an officer, and Zeke came pounding in my room because I was texting while I was recording him while he was screaming, while we were fighting, and I sent it to Pastor, and he got mad and he kept just putting me down, and he's vicious. And well, see, I was gonna entertain him, if you get the drift, and he got a phone call and he wanted to talk on the phone, and at the end of the phone call with this gentleman, Carl, which he was on the phone for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and Zeke asked him, he said, and it was weird, like, it was strange. He asked the guy, he said, "You want to come over?" And the guy Carl was like, I don't even know who Carl is, but Carl said, he's like, "You have too much rage. I don't want to deal with that." And Zeke kept asking him, he's like, "I had my girlfriend here. It's 2 against 1. And the guy was like, "No way," And he got mad at me because I told him I wasn't in the mood anymore, and he got pissed. And that started him about, like, me being like Justine, me being a tease, me being worthless. Your kids don't want you, your husband doesn't want you, I don't want you, you have nowhere to go. I remember when, he was vicious. And so, I got tired of him, and I was watching Instagram on my phone, and I had it turned down, and I turned it up a little bit, and he's like, "I don't want to hear that, put on headphones." I said, "I don't have headphones, I left them in Texas." And he was like, "Put on headphones." And so I finally went into the room where I was sleeping, and man, next thing I know, my phone rings, and he starts yelling at me, "Get off the phone, turn it off, turn it off." And I was on the phone with the police, and he came in there standing over me, and he was pissed. The look on his face was horrific, and he grabbed my phone out. He tried to grab it out of my hands, but I'm stronger than he thought I was, and he grabbed it with both of his hands and dragged me out of bed across the room, in that room where I sleep. And I was telling people what he was doing, all the crap he was saying to me. I texted my brother, and I texted Pastor, because I don't know how to deal with him. So I would not. He's cracking up, man. I told the cops, I said, he needs to be on medication. And I don't know if he has unpaid parking tickets, if that's going to affect his probation or whatever it is. But I got a restraining order until Wednesday, I guess. The 23rd, it's either Wednesday or Thursday, I don't know. But I need to go somewhere. It's not safe. He's crazy. The way he takes the remote from you and won't give it to you and walks in your house, eat your food. No, they didn't. They said something about Monday, that's when the judge comes in, but he has a domestic violence charge against him and also unpaid parking tickets. And so please don't repeat this. Yeah, you don't know a thing, okay? You haven't talked to me. I'm not sure if I'm going to shelter in Dallas in 2 weeks or here tonight, today. But the dogs are here, and I cannot leave if they're here alone. And I don't know what to do, but I don't want to be here when he gets back. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Sir? He blames me for Justine. He kept, when the cops were here, the sergeant, because there have been so many visits by the police at this address in the past, the guy said, well, sergeants, supervisors come whenever there's been a lot of calls. And I told him, I said, he needs to be on medication. That he just, because he was grabbing at my phone when I called the cops. And I did that because, not to frame him, but because he kept trying to grab my phone. And that out of my hands because I was talking to people on it. And, he kept trying to snatch my phone and I kicked him. Like on the hip because he was coming at me while I was on the couch. And then I went outside after the cops had been here. And I know I didn't. I was in the house. After the cops were leaving, I came back in the house, and I sat on the couch, not next to him, but the sideway couch. The couch by the cushion. I was on that couch, and I had my backpack there, and I guard my backpack because it has my medicine in it. And he kept talking. Every time he said something, he'd say something, and I'd respond. And he's like, shut up, shut up. And he was fucking crazy. So he needed to talk to his mom. So I looked up Anahid online and gave it to Amelia, and sent it to him because I know I wouldn't want to be stuck in jail. But I have a feeling that he's not going to be able to get out for a while because he has unpaid parking tickets. That should keep him there longer, right? If he has no money to pay him. Yeah.